Was Facebook responsible for the Arab Spring? Did a tweet change the course of history? And when you travel, how are you managing your social media? Let's talk security. At David Security here once again, sharing security insights for all of you digital nomads, expats, travelers, making sure you stay up to date with all the latest travel security news and insights. Make sure to like and subscribe. Now, today, as we approach the 10th anniversary of the Arab Spring, we're going to take a look at this article here entitled "The Arab Spring, the First Smartphone Revolution." Now, let's just take a quick look at this. I will talk about the first smartphone revolution and share some practical tips on how you can use social media while traveling. Let's just get right into it. Now, the Arab Spring, which took place all the way back in 2010, if you can believe it, was called by many as the first smartphone revolution. Well, this was mainly because social media and smartphones gave Arab youths throughout the region, North Africa and the Middle East, a technological edge that helped them topple the aging dictatorships that were installed throughout those places. And so many analysts call it the first smartphone revolution. Now, was it a good title? Was it properly named? We don't know. History is still deciding. But we do know is that there's still one country that is standing as the sole example of success in the region, and it's not doing too well right now. We're going to talk about that in this video. But I remember it well. I remember the Arab Spring well because I was working in Tunis, Tunisia as the security coordinator for the American school there. And I can personally attest to the success of social media and how effective it was used for the developments there. Now, I remember specifically Facebook, and I know for a fact that it played a major role in Tunisia. Now, the events in Tunisia took place, like I said, late 2010. And this article talks a lot about the events there themselves and what took place, what went on, and so forth. I think one day I'll write a book about my experiences there in North Africa, but it was a very interesting and challenging time. But let's talk about social media for you guys that are traveling. Now, before you go on a trip, many people plan out, you take your time to plan out your trip, rightfully so, and you book your hotels, or you look into the country you're going to work in, for example, if you're going to be an expat. But one thing that many travelers forget is to take into consideration social media. So as with anything, it's a tool. There's been a lot said about the negative part of social media, and there's a lot to be said about that. But there's also a good tool if we use it wisely. So as travelers, it's important that we know how to take advantage of social media and while not compromising our safety, of course. So here's a few do's and don'ts about social media. Now, use it to learn about the country you're in. So that's a good part of social media, to use it as a tool to learn about the country you're working in, you're traveling in, you're visiting. It's a great tool for that. Use it to connect with others. Facebook communities, for example, have many pages with expats, with travelers, and all the questions you may have about the country you're going to visit, they're probably answered in one of those pages. So it's a good place to connect with others. Also, to stay informed. Most embassies, I would say, have a Facebook page or some kind of social media presence. So it's a very good resource to stay connected and informed while you're living or traveling in the country. Now, let's just talk about a few don'ts. Don't use social media to reveal your every move. A lot of people tend to overuse social media. So what they do is they overuse it. And so because of that, they tend to post stuff that really is not necessary, overkill, and so forth. I'm sure you have your friends that do that. And also, don't use it as a primary source. So don't make your decisions primarily on social media. So just to wrap things up here, today social media continues to play an important role in Tunisia and other Arab Spring countries. So social media has not gone away in the least. As we can see here, in Tunisia alone, a country with a little over 10 million people, this website here claims that Tunisia has over 8 million Facebook users. That's pretty impressive. I'm gonna have to check and recheck that because that figure seems pretty high to me. But yeah, Tunisia has according to this website, Tunisia has over 8 million Facebook users. So social media is not going away. It remains important in Tunisia and throughout North Africa. So here's a question. Was social media responsible for the Arab Spring? I would say no. Years of suppression, economic disparity were the two main ingredients for that huge event to take place. But one thing we can learn as travelers, expats, and adventurers is that social media, when used smartly, that's the key, when used smartly, is a great tool for exploring, connecting, and thriving safely abroad. So that's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, travel security tips and insights. I hope you got something good from this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Drop it down there in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer back. That's it for today. Stay safe, and remember, at Dave Security coming to you with travel security insights.